Hi, I'm Mimi from Close to My Heart, and on today's episode of Artbooking Made Easy, we'll be getting to know the Together layout keys. You can see them for yourself on pages 60 and 61 of the Artbooking booklet. Some of these icons, photo mats, borders, titles, and overlays, will feel romantic in nature, and they are, but you can go ahead and use them on other layouts as well. I'll show you what I mean. Let's first take a look at a romantic theme page. I've cut this grid here in white daisy cardstock and backed it on colonial white cardstock. The two together are not typical, but it gives a very soft feel to this page that really contributes to the romantic pictures. Notice also that the cardstock I've used on this page come from both Ariana and Skylark paper packets, and they look great with these photos, which have kind of a natural feel to them. I see a lot of greenery there, and they look great together. Contrast that one with this layout here, the Together layout. Not a romantic based page, but gives a togetherness feel, and it looks great. We have here this border along the side. I'll show you a little up close. Notice that from the front, the rainbow look is fantastic, flawless. But turn it around, and you'll see the secret of the scraps. It's kind of a Mod Podge back there, but they look great from the front, and it's a great way to use your scraps. What a fun border that is. I also love the flower element on this page. It's cut from a shape on page 60, which looks like a spiral at first glance, but it turns into a very nice flower. Let me show you how to make it. We start with the basic spiral shape that you see here. It has a lot of spiraled edges here that we're going to start by folding over, just like so. Now, you can make them as sharp and rigid or as rolled as you like. I prefer to roll them while I have this on a flat surface, so it's easier to make them a more rolled shape rather than just folding over and creasing them like this. But it's up to you. Also, as you go, you'll notice that the white core cardstock is a special feature because it will peek through in places, maybe even rip, but that gives the flower some dimension, and I think you'll really like that look. So you go through along the entire piece and roll the edges. For the sake of time, I have one here that is already made, as you see. Just as a fun little tip, if it's too hard for you to roll, or if it's just taking too much time, go ahead and spritz it, make it a little bit more malleable before you roll it, and it will soften the paper right up, and it'll be a lot easier to cut. After you've rolled the edges like so, you take your piece and your handy quilling tool right here. I'm going to use the longer edge of this tool because it seems to work better for me. And I start by placing the very tip, the outer edge, in my quilling tool. And you start by rolling it inward. Like I said, it might rip a little bit, and that's totally okay. Roll it just like so. There's a little rip right there. Gives it some dimension. And you take it little by little. I like to smash in the corners a little bit. If you want it to be more wide and open, go ahead and leave it loose. But you're going to roll the entire thing just like this. Now, for the sake of time, I also have a pre-cut shape, a pre-rolled shape, excuse me. I'll show you. And it's here, and it's rather loose, of course. So as soon as I take it off my quilling tool, I go ahead and roll it a little bit, once again, according to how I like it. Then I open it up. I leave this base here, the center has been left unrolled. I take my liquid glass here, and I pour a generous amount here on the base. Now I like to do it all the way up this edge, all the way here. I do a little bit of re-rolling again, and I bring it steady onto the base. I'll show you here. And it's going to bubble a little bit. It's going to not feel exactly as tight as you think it might need to be, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for just a minute. Now if you turn it over, you might find that the middle is still kind of springy because it's not attached to the liquid glass. Go ahead and reapply some of the liquid glass throughout the flower. You can even leave a few dollops outside of the flower on the top if you want, and they'll look like dewdrops. It looks really nice. And I hold it there, until it has dried. This one might need a little bit more time, but it will dry that way. And when it's finished, it looks like this. I love this layout because while it's not romantic in nature, it still has a togetherness feel that pulls the pictures in a very nice way. Now, before I conclude, let me show you one more project. Do you remember the grid from the first page I showed you? It's disguised here on this adorable card at 4.5 inches. It's scaled down to fit the card perfectly. For more details about this card, visit our blog. And for projects that show togetherness with your own pictures, in the romantic way or not, use the Cricut Artbooking cartridge. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and keep checking our blog for more ideas. If you would like to purchase the Artbooking cartridge, contact your Close to My Heart independent consultant or go to closetomyheart.com.